All right, so for our first project of October, we are focusing on the Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos. And what Day of the Dead is, or Dia de los Muertos, it is a Mexican celebration. And this is a day that the people of Mexico use to celebrate, remember, and prepare special foods in honor of those who have departed or passed away, maybe family members or friends. And on this day in Mexico, the streets and cemeteries are filled with decorations. They use papel picado, flowers, candy, candles, and they have lots of parades. And they sing songs and share stories of their loved ones. So we are going to dive a little bit deeper into what you'll see in Dia de los Muertos to give us some background information on our projects we will be doing. So, if you've ever seen the movie Coco, you've probably seen a lot of these visual images that we are going to be looking at. One of the things that is a huge tradition is the families prepare something called an ofrenda. And it's believed in Day of the Dead that the spirit of your loved one will come back to visit. So families prepare something like called an ofrenda, which is like an altar that has three different layers, a lower, a middle, and a higher layer. And on the ofrenda, they'll put things that their loved one loved, like special foods that they enjoyed, drinks, maybe items that were personal to them. They light lots of candles, they put decorations out. They also put photographs of the person that they are intending to honor on their ofrenda. Another thing they use is a lot of marigolds, which are these bright golden flowers. You can see them at the bottom here of this ofrenda. And those marigolds are meant to lead the spirit back to your home. So you can see this ofrenda has lots of food, photographs, and even some personal items. They decorate it with lots of color. They use sugar skulls and decorative skeletons, and they even have bread and fruit set out. This ofrenda that we're going to look at is set up outside, and you can tell by the amount of photographs at the top here that is an ofrenda for many different people. There are lots of flowers and lots of lights. The Day of the Dead starts on October 31st and lasts until November 2nd. It kind of lines up with All Saints' Day. It was kind of switched over when the Spaniards came to Mexico. And this is a holiday that takes place in American Halloween time, but is kind of the opposite. Halloween is meant to be spooky and scary, where Day of the Dead is meant to celebrate and be happy and remember people. So on the first day, families will celebrate the dead at the cemetery. They'll decorate their loved ones' graves. They'll share stories, sing songs. They have picnics, and they share something called pan de muerto, which is a bread that's very sugary and sweet. And inside of the bread, they'll bake like a tiny little skeleton that's plastic. And if you get the piece that has the skeleton in it, you get good luck for the year. They do a tradition like this for Fat Tuesday in Louisiana with a cake that they have a little baby baked into. Sugar skulls are made of pure sugar and usually for children that give to an offering to the ofrenda. And it's believed if you take a bite out of a sugar skull, you're taking a bite out of death. We talked about how families will decorate ofrendas in their home, and they have lots of parades to celebrate. So you can see here on the side, we have a parade photographs of people in traditional outfits, painted faces, and you'll see a lot of skeletons as decoration. Those skeletons we call calacas, and they are used as a very popular decoration. You see them all over the place for Dia de los Muertos. And instead of being a scary skeleton like Halloween would have, calacas for Day of the Dead are always featured as very joyful. They are smiling. They're in decorative outfits. A lot of times you'll see them playing musical instruments. So they're intended to be very cheerful instead of scary. In addition, you'll see a lot of papel picado, and this is decorative paper that's made from tissue paper, so it's really thin and fragile, and they cut out all these intricate designs to be put into this. And lastly, we have the sugar skulls. The sugar skulls are our main attraction. They are made entirely out of sugar. And then we decorate them with icing from a cake, very symmetrical and even on both sides. So we'll be focusing on a lot of these different elements when we jump into our projects. So take a closer look at some of these pictures and